Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be the daily news and the weekend Prizewall breakdown, event breakdown. Thank you, Scotty, for the event breakdown as always. Let's get in here and we'll open this and the free to play and 20 brown breaker shards. Nice. All right. So let's get kind of started. Solo points is on the left here. You can see tours 3.853 million. Showdown event 4.2 million. But 900,000 is in bonus milestones during Showdown, so those can be very hard to get. 2 million in the faction event. Showdown leaderboard up to 700,000, depends on your league. And that's in the Showdown that starts like tomorrow. Right here. So if you're not sure about that, you can go here. You can see first place in the top league. Hey, they added pulls to the 18 to 22. All right. Much better. Continue to improve this a little bit. Would like to see a couple, at least one, make their way down into this one. A little bit better. I would prefer this to be 7 and this to be like 21, but I mean, hey, improvement is improvement, so that's cool. So yeah, 40 pulls on the line for Showdown, 700,000 points for first. All right. So that's that, right? All right, back to the breakdown thingamajigger. Portal has 317,000 free. So total free 9.47 million plus your Showdown leaderboard. Assumes all solo points from tours, faction event, but not bonus Showdown points. With the bonus Showdown points, it's 10.37 million, and then wherever you rank, right? And these numbers are going to be important because there's not really any Prizewall currency, guys, extra until you hit the 11.3 million milestone. So basically, you need to get first in your Showdown bracket to get to extra medallions and be in the top league and get pulls. Maybe second will too, to get into bonus milestones that have medallions. So when we go to the next side here, that means everybody at best is going to be working with 1,000 in tours based on last month. So we're guessing in the tune-up, approximately 2,440. That assumes 3 matches and getting to 800 Noto. A lot of you can't do that if you don't have your promoters at all and leveled up. Solo event free 2,000. Those are in the free milestones. Let's see if you have to max it to get those, because some people that can be difficult. 700 are there. 500 are there. So if you don't get to the gold chest, you're going to miss out on 700. Bonus milestones free-ish, none. Faction event 500. Faction leaderboard up to 6,500. Let's look at that. Competition. Faction competition. These usually drop off in a hurry, and indeed 4 to 10 gets 4,000, 11 to 20 gets 2,000, 21 to 40 gets 1,000. So plan accordingly. Most people probably average in the 1,000 range, right? Showdown event 3,000 based on last month, and most of 3,000 likely and hard to reach bonus Showdown milestones, so don't necessarily plan for that either. Long story short, you're at 5,940 plus the Showdown event, and then, faction leaderboard. So just assume you don't get the 3,000. So Scott's got 5,940 base, and if you get the 3,000, you're up to 8,940, and then your faction leaderboard, you'll add to that, right? So these prize walls in Showdown have been really feast or famine. You either get the card and then can get the plate, or you don't, or or you spend a bunch or spend some, maybe not a bunch, but a decent amount for sure, and then you might get one of the non-rainbow plates, right? So the Showdown event itself, I personally enjoy the event because of the way it's played, the amount of time I have to play, and that stuff. The prize wall could use a lot of work because you're really anyway. Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't know that we need. I don't really know that we need to talk about where to hit milestones. Actually, I will real quick. So if you're going for the rainbow plate, you need like 30,000, right? in the bonus milestones don't start till 11.3, which is right here. There's only 3,000, 4,000, 4,500. So now you're up to 11.5. And then if you get all but the last milestone, you're only at 19,500 plus this. This doesn't equal 30K, right? So if you're going for the plate, you basically have to max or you have to pull Brawn Breaker if you're going for the rainbow. So spending in this one, not the best time to spend. You either got to like really commit and spend big, or hope you get lucky in your showdown chest, right? Because, and by showdown chest I mean you win first place, you get pulls, and you get lucky enough to get brawn. Then maybe you can do some stuff. But otherwise, like 11.3, what's 3,000 extra bonus milestones get you if you're getting 5.9 and you can't get the 3,000 hard to get ones? Even if you can get the 3,000 hard to get ones, you're up 6, so you're at 11.9, and then and then your faction leaderboard. So if you're in a good faction or the top faction, you might get, a decent amount. But if you're in a 4 to 10, you're getting like 4,000. Anyway, you see my point. It means you're basically to get 7,000. Basically, depending on your faction and if you get any bonus stuff, you need to get here to get a non-rainbow plate, which is the 11.8 milestone, which if you win your bracket, you're probably going to get a long way if you're in a top league, and then you can probably get close to here and get to pick a non-rainbow plate. As far as the rainbow plate, if things work out, you might get it getting to here. There's also spend event on the portal, so if you get to here, you're probably getting it. What am I talking about? And then yeah, so anyway, that's kind of that. Let's take a look at the prize wall now. This is a copy of last month's, right? So the new plate is the rainbow explosion, and then every color explosion. It's X breaks. Whenever you make 4 or more, increase your damage by 500%. It is X breaks. I have it on the CC account. Just got it like right before recording this. Haven't had it very long. Only played it on a couple characters, like, and by a couple I mean one so far. Great plate for a few specific people. There's a ton of people you can use it on. Most of them's not going to be worth it. And the specific color ones, for the most part, and I haven't had time to go through this in depth, Black Explosion can work on Judgment Day Dom pretty well if you have the anniversary plate. And the Green Explosion can work on CM Punk without anything else, Acro CM Punk, right? Now, this by far is best on Zombie Punk. It's not even close. It's going to turn him into a freak. It's incredible on Dom, JD Dom, and it's also amazing on Acro Punk, right? So there's other people, again, you could potentially use it on. None will be as good as those. Acro Warrior is going to be clicky, but obviously Acro Warrior can throw it a lot of X breaks and proc this a lot of times, right? So Acro Warrior is worth having on your radar if you have a bunch of hype for him, but just know it's not going to be super fast wins. Okay. But so it's those. I like that they actually added the plate with Brawn Breaker. But I mean, I don't see how you don't get Brawn Breaker probably if you get 45,000. So that's kind of weird in a way. These are all horrible value, generally speaking. Nothing new there. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Or that. So maybe some affiliations, a chance for a 4-banger, or this one. Those are fine. It's random era 150 striker. So like Acrobat, random era for so much. I hate those. Right? If they were like era open, right? You could use them across eras, then they'd be worth it. So basically, right, most of you are looking, or most of us are going to be looking at not these two, but the other stuff, right? For shards. And very few of us will be looking at the actual plates, okay? So it's another regular Showdown one where, so my free-to-play loves it. because he's gonna hopefully get enough to get 2 or 3 sets of smash shards. And I think he's like 400 away or 375. So my free to play actually loves it for the smash shards. But if you have Smash, Becky, and Black all, then you aren't probably going to care. 500 Steamboat Shards is a decent amount. If you want that and it recruits him, then maybe it's not so bad. Some Tuso Shards, that might recruit him for you, then maybe it's not so bad. Same thing with Bailey. These, so many, you know what I mean, right? And then Woods pricing is really good. So if you didn't recruit Woods and you were close, this is actually quite good. Price for him, and you can pick up potentially a good chunk of wood shards. So I do like the wood shards. But overall, it's kind of an underwhelming prize wall unless you get to 30k, because these specific color ones aren't super great other than on a few people. Like green for Punk is actually really good. Acro Punk, you don't need the rainbow, but it's certainly nice to have. And Dom, you can make work with this and the anniversary cross break, right? And then for CM Punk Zombie Punk, you want this all the way because he's blowing up the board and his multiplies with the anniversary go on random gems, right? So you don't want a specific color on people that do random gems. Like you could put red on him, but it's only good for the handful of red gems there are. So i.e. it's not really good. Right? He's already hit super hard. Without an ultimate plate, it's kind of doesn't really do much for him, if that makes sense. So, like, as far as breaking the prize wall down, if I get to 15k, I'm a Dom mark. It would be between these two for Dom or CM Punk, and I'd probably take this just because I'm a Dom mark, right? But do keep in mind, if you don't have the anniversary and you do have Acro Punk, this makes triple green build for Punk pretty easy choice. So of the lesser ones, I think those are the best two, and those are the two reasons for it. And keep in mind, I haven't went through every single person that can use it. So, you know, don't hold me to it if I'm wrong. If you get to 30k or more, this is a no-brainer. Don't take anything else but the rainbow. And then, you know, for the shards, the wood shards jump out as the best value for sure if you haven't recruited him. Absolutely. And this is a decent chance to put a dent in Steamboat or get close. So, but in general, pretty underwhelming prize wall. Like, very much. There just isn't. I know they want to make the plates the showcase because that's part of what entices people to spend, right? The spenders to spend, because they're all going to recruit Braun very early, big spenders. But it just isn't a lot of, if you're in the middle bracket, kind of like if you're not a whale but you're a dolphin, it's kind of not really an exciting prize wall. And then free to play, if you're a bigger free to play in a bigger faction, you already have these, and then you're like, maybe not so much. But if you're like me and you just miss on the free to play, then you're happy with it. But I don't know. It seems kind of underwhelming to me, the Showdown prize wall in general. At the same time, I do like the plates. It's just very hard to get them, if that makes sense. So I'm not like the plates. The typical, like the snowfall one, the rainbow one, you mostly want the primary color one, and there's going to probably be, guys, honestly, like 5 people or less that it's completely impactful on. And the people that it's completely impactful on, though, are going to be kind of nutty with it, truthfully. And you're going to see lists of it being usable on tons and tons of people. And yes, it will be usable on tons of people, but it won't be good. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to the rest of the news, right? Because there's other stuff going on than the event. And let's just show off the fun background since we're done with that. Okay, where am I starting? We already looked at all the events going on. I don't think there's anything expiring today. So let's just look at the tours that are up. I was looking at these. This is worth noting. There's bonus energy on Saturday. So if you do these tours today, you're going to go through and have to do them again tomorrow. For your bonus energy for Showdown. This one is open for modern on the survival, any modern. This one is any trickster. And the hard mode one, I looked on Mherex before I did it, is powerhouse, any powerhouse, right? So yeah, that's those tours. They seem fine. If the survival matches are difficult for you, like they are for me. I'm just gonna wait till the second time around and only do them once. First one wasn't too bad for me. But like if you're gonna have to use props and stuff, just wait. 24-hour tour if you get Brawn Breaker, gives you energy for the current thing going on. Some trickster tokens there. And then more energy and random chest and some stuff there. No FOMO on that yet. And yeah, 2,000 shards. He'll have another tour on Sunday. He always does. That has extra medallions and stuff, right? So, and then the other tour is Friday Night Fright. I'm sorry. With a bunch of different zombies, Brock or New Brawn, Cody, Zombie Cody, or Alistair Black, right? And so those are your CSS for those. So pretty straightforward so far what we have in there. And other than that, there's nothing other than do your speed tour because it's awesome. Also, I want to cover if you guys have trouble with props, not the purple chest in here, but the one that's like gray or not colored, gives out props in your stip tour. You should buy those every day. It'll help with your prop situation. Just FYI. And yeah, this is the one you need to get to 800k in, which is really hard unless you have your promoters worked on and leveled up. So a lot of people are going to have some issues, including myself, getting all of the stuff in there. I think I usually can only get to like this spot. I usually miss the last 600 medallions. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yep. I usually miss the last 600 medallions. Also, if you get Brawn, you can go higher and you get an extra, what, 3,500 medallions. So, but yeah, I usually can get to here on the free to play, and that's about it. So keep that in mind. 600 less medallions if you don't get there. So I guess we're on to offer review, right? And now they got a FOMO offer in here that's kind of annoying. Luckily, it's a good price on the pulls. If you're into doing pulls, it gives you 20 breaker shards, random strap. That's probably going to be not good. And 5 pulls, so $2 a pull. So a little bit discount on the pulls. And then you get these tickets here. Use the special Blitz tickets to go camping in weeks 3, 4, and 5 and survive adventure to get extra shards for S and S Plus superstars released later this month. So don't know how much they're going to give, don't know how important they are, so kind of being FOMO'd with that. The good news is if you're a spender and you typically go for those ones or want the extra shards of them, this is pretty good value. 5 pulls, 20 bronze shards isn't the worst value for $10 with these as well. So I'm gonna get FOMO'd on this one and buy this on Mherex, and probably shame on me later this month, and Scopely can say, haha, we got you, Mherex, right? This month I might be tempted to do this simply because it's zombie month and sometimes crazy stuff can happen on Mherex, right? On the outside chance I decide I want to feud or somehow the boss battle currency matters, they may get me FOMO on this strictly because of zombie, but usually I don't buy these. Free claim, which is awesome. So Ring as General Gunther is Decayed is now mine on the free to play, and then Brock is also mine. Brock card very not good, by the way, horrible. But is a sub trainer, so happy to have it. You can also buy them at 6-star silver for $7 a piece, and it comes with pulls. You guys know I don't mind that value, especially when they're required this month, so that's good. Steamboat straight up for $20 he can hit. I've got a video up on him that hasn't changed, so I won't be redoing him like the other zombies with the showcase, but look at my most recent one with the anniversary. It's a trap, and then Tama plate. He can hit plenty hard. And him at 6-star silver, 8,000 shards, 7 pulls, $20. I think that's a great deal if you don't have Steamboat. Not bad. He's also a useful coach, especially if you don't have Booker T for the yellow generate. I do like this kickoff pack. 75,000 bonus points and 250 a pull is not terrible for a kickoff pack if you're trying to move your way into that mid-range where you can get one of the specific color plates and you think you're going to do well at Showdown. This is pretty decent value when you look at how the contest works. You get 20,000 points a pull, right? So that's worth 80,000 points plus the 75. You're like 155,000 event points for the cost there. So it's not terrible. So again, if you think you might win Showdown, or you're planning on, you know, doing whatever it takes to win Showdown, and you might be on the edge, since it's on a timer, this isn't the worst of the kickoff packs, right? Also gives some faction points and that sort of thing. So that one's okay, right? There's a few that are okay. You got a while to think on these. Same thing with those and this. This is on a timer. The coining camping one, you do get 50k points, so it's a little bit extra, but it's more about the resources there, so, you know, and keep that in mind. Don't love it. It's a 22-hour one. Brawn Breaker Undead pack with a strap. The fact that this is variable, kind of silly to me, right? On a $100 pack, you just go in the portal and buy the better packs on the portal. Don't buy this one in game. But, you know, the 200 flagship's always the best deal. No difference now on the portal. And then the other, you'll be able to tell right away when you look at the $100 deal. It's the one with more points, more pulls, and bronze shards that will be better, right? So yeah, that's it for the loot and the offer review. So now let's just see what we got in these pulls. So 40 pull, 4 featured. That's going to be focused mostly on brawn. Also, featured has a high hit chance at 12%. So you're going to hit a lot of featured, regardless, right? But it's generally fairly low shard count, right? I would expect to get maybe like 6 to 8 sets of bronze shards when you do a mega pull, and probably average 40 shards, you know, like, so 260, 300 shards a mega pull is pretty realistic expectation. So mega rare is 17.5%, which you can also get on doing 7 pulls. So if you're not interested in brawn, but you are interested in these things, then you would just do your 7 pulls. You're still going to get bronze shards as well. And I mean, like, it is what it is, right? Like, these loots are not like this event is mostly about the skill plate, right? From a business standpoint, right, they're not making any money off of brawn because he's the A tier, or very little. So what they do is they create his event around the skill plates, and you basically need to get brawn to get the skill plates, or spend a crap ton for the rainbow. The other one, you can spend a little bit if you win Showdown and come away with a medium one. So the loot generally is kind of bad, because, you know, they don't want to give away great stuff when you're probably having to do a crap ton of pulls to FOMO over the plates, right? So just understanding which events are great and which aren't is helpful as far as when to spend. While I do love Showdown as an event, and how it plays, I don't think this is the best week to spend in the month for sure. And this loot is no different. I mean, this is, you see how many cards are in the very rare? I mean, for Pete's sakes, yeah, scrolling forever. And there is some zombie shards in here if you're missing some of them, and then you got some commons in here of zombies. It's whatever. If you're missing zombies, don't do this loot because you're missing zombies, because there's going to be the screamium stuff. There's going to be all kinds of opportunities to pull zombies this month. Guaranteed you will have better loots than this one. But if you're, and really the only reason to pull this weekend is if you're going for plates. I mean, you know what I mean? Because if you're a spender, you're getting brawn. You're for sure. A lot of free to play can get brawn if they're in a big faction. So really the only reason to spend is if you're going for plates, and if you're that kind of a spender, you don't need much of this probably, right? So it's not a good loot, not a great time to pull. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You pull on this with the idea in mind of going for the plates. For example, if you're like looking at this prize wall and you're like, man, I really want Punk and LA Knight, the time to go for them was yesterday, right? In the early, you buy the $100 Sheamus starter pack and your faction does their stuff. You probably got both of them off of the prize wall, right? I mean, legitimately, depending on where your faction is, I think Mherex, my main account, I don't need any zombies. but I did get the starter pack, and I ended up with like 14,000 plus currency, and I could have snagged both of them, but I didn't need any of the zombies, right? So that was the time to spend for those two, and a good time to spend on the starter pack, which I probably said because there was a lot of overlap if you were missing them. If I didn't, well, shame on me, I should have. But other than that, right, like I don't think there's any reason to spend on this unless you're trying to get the plates, and it's really expensive to do so unless you win your showdown. Then green plate, these plates are more in range. This plate is just going to cost you a crap ton. You basically need brawn, and that's fine because that's for the people playing for the game. It doesn't bother me. It makes your choices easier if you're a mid spender. And then the rest of the prize wall, I mean, is there anything that's worth your money? Well, considering it's a 5-week zombie month, I think that you're going to have a lot better opportunities to spend your hard-earned money, and you'll thank me for saving it later on one of those better times, especially if you're on a budget this month, right? So that's what I got for the daily news, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm working on something very in depth for new skill plates when they release, but I don't know that I can ever get them out on day one. And usually weekends for me are very busy away from champions because I spend so much time on it during the week. I like to spend time with my wife on the weekend. So it may not come out even till next week. When it does come out, I promise you it'll be worth your time as far as how the new skill plates are and where they go and questions like that. It's much more in depth than anything we have right now when it comes to skill plates. So that's what I'm working on. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed this news and the breakdown. Thank you, Scott, as always. It's very much appreciated. Have a great weekend, guys. Have a bunch of fun. Play some other games when you're not playing champs. You know, kiss your baby, your wife, do all that good stuff. Have some fun. Yeah. Take care out there. Did I say good luck? I think I said good luck. And you should also like, subscribe, and share. I don't know. I was all kind of off kilter there. It's the zombie month. It's getting to me already. I mean, you know, it's all of this kind of stuff.
Rise from your grave.